This question is from the August 2022 Regents, and it's asking us to use a compass and a straight edge to dilate triangle ABC by a scale factor of 2 centered at C. So if you haven't already checked out the Instagram post talking about describing transformations, it's a great thing to do. But I just want to point out that this question is asking me to dilate triangle ABC, and it's specifying that I need a scale factor of 2 and to center it at C. So those are the two components we need when we're talking about dilations, a scale factor and a center. The fact that it's telling me to center it at C is a big deal. That means C is going to remain invariant or it's not going to move. And that's going to help me to understand where to start my transformation. So I'm going to start by extending my lines. So I'm going to start at C and I'm going to extend CA off in the direction away from C. Okay, so I'm just making that line a little bit longer. I'm going to go back and make it a little bit more perfect. But again, it doesn't need to be anything crazy. You're going to have a straight edge, so it's going to look a lot better on your paper. Then I'm going to do the same thing from point C in the direction of B. So I'm going to start at C, I'm going to go in the direction of B, and I'm going to extend it out into the distance, make it nice and long. Okay, now I'm going to take a moment to remind you what a dilation truly is. It's a changing of distance. So if I use my compass and straight edge, and I put the point of my compass on C, and I extend it so that my pencil is on A, what I'm really doing is I'm measuring the distance A is away from C. So if I put my pencil right there, now I can do a little kind of measurement arc and say, all right, well, how far is A from C? A is this far from C. And that's actually really helpful. I recommend you do that when you're doing these questions. It's called the measurement arc. Now I want to make A twice as far because my scale factor is 2. So I'm going to pick up my compass. I'm going to be careful not to change any of the distances. I'm going to put my point on A and I'm going to swing a second arc. Now this arc is now twice as far from C as A was. So I can go ahead and I can put a point on that point of intersection. This guy here, let me make it a little bit bigger so you can see it a little bit more easily. There we go. And that is going to be A prime. I'm going to label that as well. I'm going to put in A prime. Okay, put that off to label this point here. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing for B. So I am going to take a moment. I am going to put the point of my compass back on C. I'm going to swing my compass around so that it's towards B. And I'm going to shorten my compass so that I can measure exactly how far B is from C right now. Then I draw a little measurement arc, pick up my compass without changing the distance, put the point on B, swing the arc. Now I have my new point. This point here is now going to be B prime. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put the dot there. I'm going to label it B prime. And now I'm going to draw a line because it did ask me to dilate triangle ABC. So I need to make sure I have ABC. So what you'll notice is I only have to draw that one line because this point C is now also C prime, right? So this is C, C prime. So my original triangle, so at this point I'm done. My construction is finished. I would get 100% on the Regents, but I just want to point out to you that my original triangle is this triangle here, and my triangle after the construction is this larger triangle with this line segment going all the way back to that original point. So it's that green triangle, forgive my not straight lines, that is twice as large as my purple triangle. So I think it would just be a good idea to take a moment and go over some properties of constructing dilations, just because there are some examples that are going to be a little bit different than this one, and it's important to go over how we would do those as well. So when constructing a dilation, you're always going to find the center. I just put a point on C to mark that that was the center. I'm going to do that first. Then I'm going to extend the line segments just as I did. I extended those lines using my straight edge. Now this is the important part. If your scale factor is larger than 1, and in our case it was, our scale factor was larger than 1, we are going to copy the distance. So that's exactly what we did. We used our compass to measure the distance and then we copied it. We only did it one more time because our scale factor was 2. We wanted it twice as far, but you can do that as often as you need to meet the needs of your scale factor. If the scale factor is less than 1, let's say it's 1/2 or 1/4, you're going to be using perpendicular bisectors to cut those distances in half. So make sure that your image is either larger if it's bigger, if your scale factor is bigger than 1 than the original, or smaller than the original if your scale factor is less than 1. Check back to the channel to take a look at even more Regents questions and more constructions.